Hello and welcome to the Soul Space podcast with me, Alacia Gupta or Lacey Gupta. I am a transformative teacher and coach who specializes with highly sensitive women and children.
Hi, my name's Lucy Bailey. I am a children's author and creator of a magical character called Magic Molly, who teaches children to love themselves right from their heart. I'm also a holistic healer, certified in Reiki and women's circles.
And we are so excited. We are
I'm
so
so
excited for this.
excited.
Really,
Trying to
really.
contain my energy for that.
Really, really excited to be here. We have been talking about doing this for such a long time, and we're finally doing it. And yeah, we really can't wait. Today's episode of the podcast, what we're going to do is we're going to share our stories, share how we have come to do this podcast, why we're doing it, and our stories leading up for that. So, shall I go first, Lucy?
Yeah, go on, you go
I'm going to go
first.
first. Okay, so like I said, I am Alacia Gupta. If you don't know me, my company is called the Nurture Garden, and I'm a transformative coach and teacher who specializes in highly sensitive children and highly sensitive parents. And before that, before I've started the Nurture Garden, I've been a teacher, a specialist teacher for 20 years, working with children with special educational needs and disabilities. I've been working with families of the parents for years, and I've helped thousands of children and thousands of families before that. I recently left my teaching job. So in July, I left my teaching job to concentrate on the Nurture Garden and supporting children and families through the Nurture Garden. But there is like a whole story before that, like a whole big story of how I got to that, why I've ended up in teaching. So I'm going to give you the short version because me and Lucy like to talk. That's one of the reasons why we're doing this podcast, isn't it, Lucy?
Yeah, someone's going to want to listen to our
Oh,
crazy conversations.
well, crazy conversations, exactly. So, um, school. So I'm going to start with at school. So I struggled at school, in primary school, especially with writing and reading, and I now know that that's because I'm dyslexic. So, I struggled with concentration. I was always, my mum and dad were always kind of told that, oh, she's away with the fairies. She's a chatterbox. She can struggle to focus. And I know now this is because of the way that my brain works. But at the time, I remember feeling quite um, disappointed in myself and feeling like, why am I this way? Why can't I just be like my brother was very academic? Why can't I be like my brother? Um, why am I this way? I remember feeling quite inadequate really at school. I enjoyed school. I enjoyed primary school, and I enjoyed the social side, but I did find things quite tricky. And then when I got to high school, I rebelled. So I was, a naughty child. Um, Not terribly. I mean, my mum and dad would say that I drove them absolutely bonkers, but
Can't imagine that.
yeah. But yeah, I rebelled against the system. Definitely. I used to like wag school, so not go into school. Um, you know, I I just it wasn't the perfect environment for me, definitely not. Again, I loved the social side of it. So I loved seeing all my friends and I do love learning. So now I know the subjects that I enjoyed, I really thrived in, and the ones that I didn't, like, I didn't go because that is the way that my brain works. So and I know this now, I know that I was specifically designed to not be interested in certain subjects and to really be interested in others. So yeah, struggled my way through high school, scraped my exams, got into college, and this worked so much better for me because it was doing subjects that I enjoyed. So I did psychology, which I've always been interested in, and then I've gone on to do a degree in psychology at university. Always been interested in people and why they behave in certain ways. That's always been a massive interest of mine. Um, after university, I went into teaching and found that, I just found my calling with teaching. I just absolutely loved every minute of it, loved my job, loved working with the children. I always attracted children who had challenging behaviors, always attracted children with special educational needs, always really good with those children, even from being younger. Like I always had that empathy and that, connection with children who struggled because I struggled myself, and being a neurodiverse person myself. So, so then I became a special educational needs coordinator and and supported children through that and ended up building, two units within the school that were nurturing units because, I saw these children really struggling, really suffering. And yeah, I knew that the curriculum just wasn't fit. It just didn't fit for them and what their needs were. So we designed our own space, we designed our own curriculum, which was amazing. Absolutely loved it. We used to have people coming in and looking at our model and recreating it in Lancashire. So I was really, really proud of that. And it was literally taking each child as an individual and each child, looking at what they need and providing that for them. However, what I found is within the mainstream classroom, this wasn't happening. And we had more and more children struggling to fit into the box of the curriculum, and more children, just not liking school, really not liking
Struggling.
school, struggling.
Mhm.
Yeah, struggling with coming into school even, you know. And this is when I started thinking about the nurture garden. So this is when kind of like the ideas started to come to me. Um, and I was helping a lot of my friends as well. So a lot of my friends whose children were neurodiverse, I was helping them with education, health and care plans, getting the correct support for them, helping them with, self-care and things like that. Um, Again, around this time, I started a tropic business. So I started um, doing tropic. So I started doing tropic when my little boy Arlo was born. So he's now 8. Can't believe it. 8 years old. So he's now 8. And when he was born, just everything changed for me. I don't know about you, Lucy, but when I had children, it just, yeah, everything
I
just,
think it's like the push of kind of, you're living a certain way before you have the kids. And then you I think that is the calling of us to like to want more for them and to want more. Like you're so kind of like, wow, what is happening here, like with the world, and oh, is this what I want to do? No, this is what I want to do with my child. And you know,
it's where my
I think that's
awakening.
the start of probably, this because obviously this podcast is going to be very spiritual. It's going to be very, we are going to talk about guides and angels and the universe and energies and frequencies. And I think that's quite a poignant point of kind of when your soul is like, oh, I need more. Like
Yeah, it's when I
children
woke
so
up,
much.
definitely when I woke up. So
Mm,
yeah, when I had Arlo, that is when I kind of got there must be more to life than this. I
mm,
was literally before Arlo, party girl, loved Ibiza, I used to go out all weekend, then my life was my job, loved that. And then when I had Arlo, it was just like, whoa, there's got to be more to life than just,
mm.
you work for 60 years and then you retire. It was like, I don't want to leave my baby. I don't want to leave him.
Miss things
Yeah, I
like,
don't want to miss things. And I was like, there's got to be more. And I've always been like empathetic and into intuition and, you know, I've always been spiritually curious, I would say.
mm,
I've always like been interested in religion, but never connected with any religion,
mm.
but really interested in it.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. There's always an interest in that. Oh, that's exciting, but it's like actually living by it. I think is a totally different ball game. Like you can be interested in, yeah, I've always had that niggling of, oh, that looks fun, or that, that's exciting. Them crystals are nice, and but not actually live by it. And I think what we do now is actually live by that. Like
mm,
every day, live in the magic
absolutely.
of.
Absolutely. And when I had Arlo, so I had him and I thought, there's got to be more to life.
Mm,
Then I was like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Because I can't go back. So I found Tropic, and Tropic is it is a spiritual business. It really is a spiritual business. It's so kind of teaching you how to run your own business, but in a really kind of really safe, lovely way. Like really, really, honestly, I absolutely love Tropic. And Tropic then gave me the confidence to start my own business. But around that time, I met an amazing woman called Victoria Spencer who took me through my spiritual awakening. And I remember just being like, oh my God, higher self, like connecting with my higher self. And like this whole magical world just opened up for me that was just like the blinkers are off.
mm,
The blinkers are off. And when they're off, you can't put them back on again.
no, no.
Even though sometimes you want to, even though sometimes when you're in the darkness, like you want to put them back on again, but once your eyes are opened, you can't turn it off. You really can't.
I just thought then, as you were saying that, it's like the awakening point of like, oh my God, my eyes are open. I got like a visual then of like this river of your soul running through the middle of your body of all this magic, all this wonder and joy and like, good stuff. It just kind of like, I saw this image of it just coming out of you and like because your soul has always got that. It always
Yeah.
has that energy inside. It always does. As we're born, the kids have it. You see it in them. Like it's then, it's lifestyle, it's society, it's all the outside things.
School.
Put those blinkers dark, like yeah, school. Put those blinkers on them to then, try to diminish a little bit of that soul and knock it out of you and kind of get in line
Mm,
with the other, of what
mm,
else is going on. Do this, don't do this, because that's,
mm,
but the beauty of someone's soul and the beauty of living by soul is everyone's soul is unique. It's
mm.
completely unique. So yours is different to mine, is different to Arlo's, is different to my kids, and it's everyone's soul is so unique and different. So of course these children struggle and adults like
Yeah.
in day-to-day life when there's so many ways to be conformed into a certain way.
Yeah.
And
And put into a box, and we can't be put into a box, and we shouldn't be put into a box.
I can't. It's like a jack in the box
Um,
trying to get out with the
Yeah,
sparkles.
absolutely not. So yeah, so then this kind of I've been on a spiritual journey, I would say for the past like a deeply spiritual journey for the past seven years now. And that has evolved from kind of manifestation, like being interested in, oh, manifesting thoughts become things. That's exciting. To like, working with coaches, working with energy healers, working with all these incredible people along the way to just waken you up that more and evolving more into, using energy myself within my teachings, with like, not just awakening, but evolving and and we're ever evolving. So this journey never ends, and we know that now. But learning how to tune into my guides, learning how to tune into God, learning how to, have business, a soul-led business that leads from the heart and soul. Um, it's just so incredible. It just really is so incredible. And then like taking my family through that as well. Arlo is awakened, he's evolved, he's so wise sometimes, honestly. I'm just like, oh wow, the things that he says sometimes, and kids listen to them because they're more connected to source. Kids are more connected because they've had less crap basically from the
That's
outside world. They've had
I was going to add
less
to that. I think so.
conditioning.
You're right. The kids, there's less. The reason why when you go on that awakening and that spiritual journey, you're taught to get rid of those beliefs that are unhelpful, and the beliefs or fears that have been put on you and put on, on your body, on your soul. You're taught to get rid of them and let them go, and cut all the cords. And children don't have, there'll be some things going on, but they don't have as many of those beliefs in them, so
Mm,
they're very more susceptible to all of this. So it
absolutely.
was important to both of us, wasn't it, to kind of speak like this to the children from a young
Yeah.
age.
And my
Yeah.
journey has been like this. Like I'm telling you now, it's a roller coaster. I've been in some really dark times. And, when did I meet you, Lucy?
I was just, as you were speaking then, I mean, obviously we've been speaking for now maybe about 2 years, isn't it? Like we
Yeah.
connected through a coaching program that we was both on, and again, just the nudges of, oh, I like what she's doing, or oh, I like her energy. And I think I did one of your courses with kids, didn't I? And
Yeah.
then we was
Soul school.
yeah, yeah, that's it. And we was just like, we got on really well. Our energy was great. And we was like, we started being accountability partners, didn't we? Just, I want this for my business. I want this to be like yours. And we'd speak every day. And when you were saying about it being about 7 years ago, and I think it was about 7 years ago for me that I kind of
Mm.
got, kind of took those steps to
Yeah,
actually
it's
live
amazing, isn't it? And now, where I am now is I've written Soul School, which is a program that I take into schools, but also do virtually online. And that is to help children connect with themselves. It's to help children with emotional regulation. It's practical strategies that I have been taught through my journey on what actually helps. Breathing and meditation, journaling, tuning into who you are, what feels better, what feels good, all these things. So I put it into a program and I've been like delivering that. I've written Soul School for Parents as well, which is another program for parents. I'm working more with highly sensitive women, um, on supporting them with overwhelm and supporting them with connecting into who they truly are. So that's a real passion of mine as well. And I'm doing a membership. So it's just kind of like gone more. And we were saying like the things that I've manifested, like the
well, this
things
is
that I
it.
have manifested into my life, like,
Yeah.
I am now fully working for myself. I am a full,
That's what the point. I didn't want to rush over. I was like, I want you to finish, but I didn't want
yeah.
to rush over the fact that you've for 20 years been doing that and going through your spiritual journey. And then, yeah, how long is it? So when did you leave?
So July, July.
Like, not even a
Uh,
year.
Not even
And
a year, not even a
picked up
year
your
in.
job to literally be
And now, like, honestly,
to
I'm going to a networking event with over 100 people tomorrow, like talking about the Nurture Garden, and I just think,
talk
oh
about your
my God,
business, that you're
talking
so
about
led.
my business, my soul-led business that I'm so passionate about, that I love, that I get to do this every day. I get to help people because that's what I've always wanted to do. I've wanted to help as many people as possible and help them to see who they truly are because I can see it really easily. I can see their light really, really easily. That's one of both me and you can do that, can't we, Lucy? Like we can feel it, not only see it, but we can feel it. We can
Yeah.
feel your magic. We can feel the magic that's inside you, and then we help to bring it out of you, and we help you to see it, you know.
Mm.
Um, so
Kind of
yeah,
shine the light on it. And like, it's that, yeah, it's just incredible that you've done that.
it is incredible. And I pinch myself and I'm so grateful every day. And listen, it's not, I'm not saying it's been an easy ride, and I'm not saying I've had so many limited beliefs to clear. Like,
Mm.
you know, my nervous system was absolutely shot with not having a wage.
Mm.
Like not having a wage for the first time, my nervous system was all over the place. So I've had to do the spiritual practices. I've had to meditate. I've had to do tapping. I've had to, go out in nature. I've had to, do the
What you've had to
self-care.
do is again diminish those, you know, beliefs, those again, getting your body caught up with like, yeah, we're all right, we're good.
Yeah, we're
This
safe.
magic's here. We're safe.
Yeah,
It's
we're
okay. Instead
safe.
of being like, oh, I've got no
Yeah.
wage or whatever. It's like I believe so, like you believe so strongly, I believe as well in your passion, in your ability. You
Mm.
believe so much in the power of the universe and all of the
So, yeah,
magic. You believe so much that that's the reality that you're getting.
yeah. And I wouldn't have been able to do this without my guides, without God, without my spiritual practices. There's absolutely no way I would have been able to do this. Like I really wouldn't have been able to do it. So I feel like this is the magic essence that everybody needs in their life, because
Yeah.
we're not alone. We're not alone. We think we're not alone. We don't have to do anything alone. We have got infinite intelligence
Mm,
like at our fingertips.
mm. If you want it.
Um, yeah. So,
Yeah, that was good, hon. That was good.
Kelly, right, Lucy, let's go. Let's
Right.
go.
So I think I'm going to start at a place where I. So I was married. I had two children, and I. I've got two sons, Oliver and Harry. I had like postnatal depression or lack of alignment and lack of magic in my life when I first had Oliver. Um, and I tried, therapy. Um, I even was taking like an antidepressant at one point, and there was just like I still weren't getting that kind of joy inside. I adore him, obviously. I love my children. I hope that didn't come out wrong, but it was like,
No, honey, the amount of women that I speak to where
yeah,
they can't be present with the children
yeah,
because of all the crap.
yeah. And there was obviously, there was lots going on at home anyway. But the point for me was like, it was, yeah, I had two boys at that point, and I remember sitting like in the bath, going, "There must be more to life than this." Like all this spiritual people say that kind of phrase because it's just like you sit there and you're like, "There must be more than what I'm experiencing," and that is no, like what I'm experiencing in myself, not my outside. I love my children. I was a very like good mom. I was a present mom. I was always there, but in myself, I could not shift whatever was going on. And I think because of whatever I tried, it just wasn't hitting it. And then I found my first coach, and she it was literally like I'd go to her, and again, it was, you had to get all those beliefs of, oh, I can't go away from the children for an hour to work on myself because that's selfish for me to do that. Um, but I did, because it was like, I just want to feel good. I want to feel better for them and me. And it was really like, so yeah, I'd spend that hour talking about myself. She'd introduce me to, gratitude, certain books to read, certain things to watch. And I, it was really actually uncomfortable for me at first to even say nice things about myself. It was so uncomfortable. Like, she was like, what, say something you like about yourself. And I'm like, I ain't got a clue. I was so
Oh,
lost. I
oh,
was so lost.
oh, wow.
I was so lost. And it was like, that's literally what I was. My soul was lost. It had been so long that I'd, left myself at the bottom of the pile. I put everyone else's needs before mine. And I just felt so uncomfortable talking nicely about myself. And, I was like, what do you like to do? And I'm like, I don't know. Look after my children. That's pretty much it. Like, and yeah, so it was, I went to her for a little while, and I kind of started reading things and listening to things, and like, I'd get this feeling in your stomach of like, oh, that's quite interesting. Yeah. Oh, so you'd kind of build up like that. And I continued to have that commitment to myself. And then there was a big, like, kind of, what is it you call it? Like a ground shake, like an earthquake, like an emotional
Epiphany.
no, not an epiphany, like something really like that changes the trajectory of your life. So it was like
Mm,
something happens at home that it was like shook you up like an earthquake of some sort. And I
mm.
was feeling really, really like, oh my God, how can it get any worse? But honestly, the thing that got me through was like the commitment to myself. It was like, I can't let myself go in this. Like, I can't let myself go. And then the more I gave time to myself, the more I started to rebuild who I actually was and who I wanted to be as well. And I could
And who you've
see
always
that
been.
when I gave myself, I've always been actually, yeah, who I am. And I also noticed the difference that me giving myself that time to work on myself, whether it be reading, like, and again, I had to start at the bottom because I didn't even know what I enjoyed anymore. Um, Walking, whatever it was, I started to notice the difference that I was as a person. I was a better mum. I was a better, you know, daughter, whatever, like family. I was in a better energy. So I was like, there must be something to this. Like, I'm doing all this stuff for myself, and I'm feeling better, and I'm, getting a better outcome. And then I become like so, not I was going to say obsessed with it, but like so like, I want to do more of this. Like, more things that
Mm.
make me feel good will also make me a better person. So it's like, yeah. So I think I just continued down that path of like, what do I enjoy? Let's do more of what I enjoy. Because I think as mums and as women as well, you're like, you feel like you have to just give, give, give all of the time. And that's when you get left with not knowing what you're doing. But then when you give to yourself and you start to go, what do I feel like? What feels good to me? The more you do that, again, the more you are better for those, the ones that are
Absolutely.
around you that you love.
We have to drop the guilt out. Like the guilt is an absolute killer. It really is. The amount of women that I speak to that are just like, well, I can't do that. I can't read because like that I feel guilty. I feel guilty for that. So
Mm,
it's learning how to say to yourself, this is the real work. Never
mm,
mind going to work for someone else. Never mind doing the washing. Never mind cleaning your
mm,
house. This is the real work. Working on yourself is the real work. It's going to
mm.
save your life.
No,
And
stop.
I think it's like we need to drop the guilt as mums. Drop the guilt. drop
Yeah.
it, because if
Yeah.
you don't, you're going to be miserable. You're going to be
Yeah.
miserable, and you're not opening yourself up to the magic that being a mom can bring. That
Oh,
being
100%. Like you're not, and that's literally what I was searching for. I knew I adored my children. I loved being with them. I loved doing things, making memories, but I knew that I was not, again, I was just spreading myself so thinly, or not letting my light light me up to also enjoy myself, my life. And it makes you a better mum by, yeah. So it is dropping that guilt to do that. But no, so I think so no, what I did was, so I also was running at the time a party business. So I would dress up as Disney princesses um, at the weekend for children's parties, and I absolutely adored it. Like the light, again, because I'm a big Disney girl, the magic that was, I took it really seriously. So I'd be, getting in the zone, I'd be doing my makeup, putting my Disney playlist on. I would sing, and I adored doing that. So it was like, right, let's do more of that. We enjoy that, so let's do more of that. Um, and my character that I created, that's when she was born, because it all kind of went like side by side. So I'm going through this journey myself, going on this self-love journey, and obviously the more I did it, the more easier it got. But it's quite sad to think of where you got to, like, thinking you don't think that much of yourself, you're not that confident. From whatever someone might see on the outside, I'm dressed up as, like, Elsa. People must think, oh, look at that, she's really confident. And it was like, inside I really weren't. It was like just this, it wasn't that. It was, but what was born from that is the way that a child would know the ins and outs of what Elsa said. So the way that, they'd be like, oh, um she likes chocolate, and she lives in Arendelle, and oh, this is what song she sings, and oh, she said this in the movie. Like, because children are so connected, they know the details of everything. And because I'm a Disney, I love Disney, I would know all the answers to that. But it's like, wouldn't it be amazing for children to learn the importance of self-acceptance, of self-love, of being kind to themselves at a young age, so that they know that if something happens in the future where someone's like mean to them, or they're negative of themselves, they're like, oh, hang on a minute, let's catch yourself, like, let's not do that, let's not go down that road. What would Magic Molly do? Like, so I was like, wouldn't it be amazing if children had that character to listen to, subconsciously have in their heads, and that was what I wanted. I wanted to create a subconscious teachings for them, so that they could be like, oh, yeah, like, that's actually not good. I shouldn't be unkind to myself, because that's
So
how I
was
feel.
that, sorry, Luce, was that before the book? Did you create the
Yeah.
character before you wrote the book?
Yes, I did. Yeah. So,
And
and then
were
that was
you
what.
still with your husband at this point, or had you separated?
No, no. So, that kind of me building myself up and realizing my own self-worth then ended up in divorce, really. Because I could not anymore not live, I couldn't live not in alignment with my worth, and not in alignment with what I wanted from life, and what I wanted from a relationship, what I wanted from, I couldn't live in that space anymore after going on that journey. And it was, yeah, no, that was how that happened.
Okay.
But,
How long ago was that then?
so that was 5 years ago.
5 years ago.
Um, ago. So
I think
And I
that's
think,
important. I think it's important to share that sometimes it feels like when you're on this spiritual journey that your life is in tatters. Do you know what I mean? That
mm,
everything is just broken down and it's just blasted apart like what you said. You know, it can
yeah,
feel like that, can't it? For lots
yeah,
of people and big changes can come from it. And it
yeah.
and it doesn't always feel
I
comfortable.
think
It
the
doesn't,
only thing that got me through was all of these teachings. And
yeah.
that is why I'm so passionate about it. Because the only thing that, got me through that stage was all of these teachings of knowing knowing my energy, knowing what I'm okay with and what I'm not okay with, standing in my power, in my like me being me. And it was then impossible for me to, continue on that path with me being me and that not aligning to, to kind of what that future would have been. So it was like, what do I want? And I think I hadn't ever asked myself those questions before. And, we, again, on this journey, you get to understand that you have to, you accept everything, like every part of your journey. Like you have to accept every part of your journey. There's no way I would say, I wish that didn't happen. As in that, because it is it is how it's supposed to be. Like
It's what was meant for you,
it's,
you know.
you know, it was, yeah, those teachings and what I learned from that was meant for me. And yeah, just hear what I'm saying.
Yeah, and I know now that this is pre-planned anyway before we're born. So before
Mm.
we're born, we decide on what kind of experiences that we want, what contrast that we're going to need, so and I know this is really
Oh, that was what I
tricky.
was saying. That, yeah, no, that was what I was going down. Like I remember before I got married, I never kind of asked myself, what do I want from life? I was quite young, but I didn't kind of go, oh, like, what excites me? What do I want from life? What do I want my relationship to look like? What do I want my job to be? And I think that's the fire for me, wanting more young people to, number one, know how amazing they are and be so, yes, this is, proud of themselves. That it's like as soon as someone comes in and tries to diminish any light that they might have, go on your, like, goodbye, on your way,
Bye now.
go.
Yeah. And
And
not let
young
it in.
girls,
It
young
doesn't
women,
get in.
bye
Yeah.
bye.
Bing, 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 bong, bong, bong. Bounce off.
It doesn't get in. Instead of letting it in and letting things kind of pile up on you negatively, and then having conversations with young girls that are like, what are you going to do with your life? Like, again, what do you want to do this? Do you want to have this kind of job? Like, asking those questions. And that's, I think, where I went down that route of, I would never change my path. I would never change the lessons that I've had because this is right where I'm supposed to be. I
Mm,
would never
love
change
that.
that.
That's so yummy, isn't it? I would never
Hater.
change any of the events that have happened, the good or the bad,
Mhm.
because I'm exactly where I'm meant to be right now. That's beautiful. So tell us about when you wrote the
It's,
book. Come on, tell us.
yes,
We're excited.
yes. So I was like, I had this, again, doing all these things, got listening to this stuff. Look, all the that juice is coming back. So it was like, I wanted to create this character that children can connect with and know the ins and outs of. And I was like, right, the best way to do that is write books. And I was like, oh yeah, I've never thought that before. But again, I've always been quite a creative person. So yeah, that was the seed that was planted. Character and writing a
Ooh,
book.
plant the seed.
Oh no, no, no,
Unintended there.
yeah, no pun intended. Um, so I started kind of jotting down different ideas, and I basically decided that there would be two characters in the book, a negative one and a positive one. And it's like every day you get the choice to be one or the other. You can be the negative person or the positive one, and both of your days will go on. They will grow. So, and in this book, it's, they're planting a seed in the ground, and the negative ones still grows, because if you're planting a negative thought in your head, and like at the end of the book, they're planting it in someone's head as opposed to the ground. Um, but if you're planting a negative thought, it will still grow. It's not like a
Mm.
negative. So that was an important part of the book, that it was the importance of being kind to yourself, because
Mm.
so many conversations that we've had, me and you, like I'll be ringing up and be like, right, this is going on, this is how I'm feeling. It all comes back to being kind to yourself.
Mm.
Like, you don't understand the importance of the words that you say to your own head. So that was
Mm.
the essence of the book. And if you are planting the positive word, the positive seed into your head, it's the feelings that go with it. It's just like you're planting it in there and it vibrates out.
It
The same
absolutely
with the
does.
negative.
And
It's like
it's
you have
like
got a choice.
thoughts, we know that thoughts, our thoughts, we are in control of our thoughts. We don't think that we are, but we are in control of our
That's
thoughts.
again the wonderful thing of what we're trying to do, is like teaching people that you are in control of your thoughts. That if you are like, right, I'm having a meltdown, all these intrusive thoughts that are coming in, they're coming. And a lot of what we teach is like, you're stopping them coming, you're refocusing, and you're clearing the way. And yeah, because they will keep coming, but you
Mm.
are, that's the problem.
And they build momentum. And this is what
They build momentum.
you were saying it with the growth, and I see it as like a snowball. So when
Mm,
you think a negative thought, okay, I was talking about this today, it's a negative charge and it's electricity and it goes out. Um, and like attracts like, so we get more negative thoughts attracted to us and negative experiences. And that grows, and it's like a snowball at the top of the hill that, like, where you can catch it at the top of the hill, a little snowball, but
yeah,
right
like
down,
you feel it. What's this? But if
you
it's
can
like,
catch it, like, ooh,
you can feel it, is what we, try and live by every day. You'll be like, what's that niggle? What's
yeah,
that I'm feeling?
that don't
You
feel
know,
nice.
that don't feel nice. And then it's like, oh, that's what that is. So you can you I feel it's good to notice what that feeling is, of like, oh, I'm a bit upset about that, am I? Oh, okay, I'm a bit angry. Okay, what am I going to do about it? Am I going to do anything, or am I going to let it go? You know, and then, but obviously, again, because if you're living unconsciously of your feelings and your energy and what you're putting out to the world, if you don't catch that snowball before it goes down the hill, you're giving out, oh, everyone's always horrible to me. Oh, what must be this? That's it kind of attracts. It's the law of attraction.
It's law of
So
attraction, it really
it's
is. And
yeah,
it's everything, like we're always like, it always comes back to thought. It always comes back to
yeah,
thought because thoughts
yeah. Oh,
create.
I'll finish my conversation about the book, and then we'll go. Yeah, it's like
Yes,
that is it's thought, like that. The essence of the book is thought, that the power. Oh, I'll just do a phrase of it. So it's quite rhyming. Words are truly powerful, the most powerful thing of all. Words, they have the power to make us rise or make us fall. Whichever words we choose to feed into your seed, this is what your seedling will grow into believe. And it's, yeah. So yeah, I wrote the book. I self-published it on Amazon.
it's
Um,
available on Amazon, everybody. Get it. It's an incredible, incredible
on
book.
Amazon, everything.
Yeah, Lucy Bailey, let's plant a seed. Honestly, um, it's one of the most amazing books to share with children. And so many people, Lucy says to you, don't they? Like, God, this is really good for adults as well, you know. This has taught me
Yeah.
stuff.
That's it. That, yeah. My nan was like, oh, yeah, I'm like worrying about things. And then I read the book and she was like, it sounds really silly because it's for children. And I was like, no, it doesn't sound silly. Like, it's because ultimately, again, when you even get to an adult, so many things go back to childhood. So when you're reading, and I think, I would be sitting with Oliver, like reading before bed and thinking, again, this is all going into his head before he goes to sleep. So wouldn't it be amazing to have a library of books going into the children's head of all these magical practices that are just amazing? Right? So that's the dream. And Magic Molly is, yeah, I've done a few school like assemblies, workshops in schools as Magic Molly. So I'll read the book, talk about the book very interactively. Obviously, she's like got rainbow hair, a tutu. She's like my essence if I would just walk around like that. Um, and
Sparkly and magical and wonderful.
I wish I could be her every day.
Well, you are her. We
Oh yeah,
talk about this. You
I am.
are her. Um, so again, both of us quite similar, isn't it? Quite similar
Yeah.
in what we wanted to kind
Achieve,
of
I think, like the message.
the message,
Yeah,
absolutely the message, and
yeah,
different, like absolutely,
yeah.
different, but similar message with
I think
children.
touching on that, isn't that great? Because I think again, as women, you're taught to like be in competition with everyone all the time. And like me and you, and I think again on this spiritual journey, when you meet all of these wonderful people, it's like, no, like let's build you up. Like because you're amazing. Like it's not like I would share things with and go, oh, I better not share that because someone might take it. It's like and that's what we kind of started to do, wasn't it? We'd build each other up and be like, yeah, like go you. Like
Yeah, uplift each
do
other,
more, uplift each
uplift
other.
each other,
Yeah,
absolutely, because there
yeah.
are, you know, we know, don't we, that all the families who are, meant to work with me will come and work with me. All
Mm,
the families, the children, the people who are meant to read your book they will find you. We will
mm,
attract them. There doesn't need to be any competition with
mm.
anyone,
No.
because like Lucy was saying before, we are unique. We have a unique magic. We have a unique energy inside of us.
Mm,
And that draws in our people who we're meant to work with, who
yeah.
we're meant to have experiences with.
Mm.
And, you
It's that
know,
unique soul, isn't it? It's that unique, like everybody has these unique, wonderful points. And I feel like, you know, when you when you don't realize your own strengths, you don't see your own magic. But when you see your magic, it is literally like, and when you're working in it and you're in it, it's like a high that just doesn't, it's like a high of like, that don't stop.
it's like
And
ecstasy. It's
yeah,
like, and as someone who in the past has dabbled, in those, mind-altering substances, um, yeah, it
it's
feels like you are high.
high.
Like people
I,
ask me all the
I
time,
was,
what are you on? They'll
that's
say,
what I
what
was
are
going
you
to say.
on?
Yeah. And then I remember going into a school dressed as Magic Molly, going in, and the head teacher looked at me and she was like, are you always like this? Are you on some kind of medication? And I was like, no, I'm always like this. Like, obviously,
High
I'm
on
not
life,
beforehand,
love.
like,
Let's
no,
go
like, not
on.
beforehand, but like, it was so unusual to be happy, like, not happy because,
Happy,
but so, she was literally like, are you
outwardly
always like
happy.
this?
It
Or
is
are you on
like it's
medication?
there aren't many people, and we're not happy all the time. Like, trust
No,
you me, we are
it's a
not
very
happy all the
ebb and
time.
flow situation. I
We
did
are
speak to someone
not,
about my
but
hibernation period over the last couple of couple of
yeah,
months. I feel
but
like I've been
we
living under a whole winter.
but we are most of the time
Mm,
happy,
yeah,
and that's what life is about. What we've come to realize is
yeah,
life is about having fun.
mm,
Life is about having a laugh. Life is about being grateful for what you have. Life is about
Feeling good, like
appreciating each
feeling
other,
good, literally feeling good,
feeling
like
good,
feeling good.
and doing more of those things and doing less of the things that don't make you feel good.
Yeah.
It's so simple.
Mm.
It's so simple, but that is it. That is
Yeah.
the beauty of,
Yeah.
of what we kind of teach and things. It's the
Yeah.
beauty's in the simplicity.
Yeah. Because I think if you follow what you enjoy, like again, of course there'll be things that you know don't love doing. I don't love doing like housework. That's not my forte. But like of course you have to, there's a balance of things you need to do, but you know, big things like how do you want to raise your family, how do you want to be around your friends, what do you want to wear, what job do you want to do, what do you want to spend your time doing, like them big things you can desire and attract into your life, things, but them things can feel good too. It doesn't just have to be a Friday night, you know, booze up around your mates that feels good all week. Like again, like this kind of social thing of, oh, I can't wait till it's Friday, you know, can't wait for the week to be over. And it's like, you want to get up every day and be like, still alive.
Yeah,
Woo!
right.
Woo! But I
Woohoo!
think maybe that kind of say what we want to do. I think with this space, I think we know how much these things have helped us. Like they've changed our lives, and our, again, our
100%.
passion, we want to share it more. So we just want to share what we've learned. We want to share the teachings. We want to put it in our way, in our words, and
Yeah, and we want to help. We want to help. We know that
yeah.
there are mums out there, because it's probably who we're going to attract. Mums
Mm,
out there who are feeling overwhelmed or exhausted or burnt out, or there's got to be more to life than this, We
mm,
know that there are people out there like we were, and
mm,
we can't keep this to ourselves. We cannot keep this to ourselves, because there are simple things that you can do, which we will kind of talk through with these podcasts. You know,
mm.
there are simple things that you can do that can help and that can make you feel good.
It can change your life. That literally, you don't have to feel lost. You don't have to feel sad. Like that, again, you know, you can't completely diminish any kind of sadness or aggravation in your life. That's not what this is about. This is not about let's be positive all the time and everything be great. But it's like you, I think we both have had that kind of disconnect so much in our soul that it's like when you reconnect, it's like, let's everyone do this. You
Yeah.
know, come join us. Like,
Come join us over here on the crazy
join us
train.
over here on the crazy train. There's tickets available.
Tickets.
Everyone.
Oh, I love that so much. I really, really love it. I think that's a really good place to finish and just kind of say, if you've enjoyed this, come and follow us on our socials and our pages, um, and come and join us for the next episode, because this is episode 1. So yeah, just have a wonderful day, and yeah, just know how amazing you are, guys, because you are.
I was just going to say, and you are amazing. I know you're amazing. You just said that. So that I think is the ultimate. You are amazing. And if you don't feel amazing, let us tell you, you can. You can.
You can
It's
feel it, and you are. Like, we know
not
that
a
you are, and
secret
you
that,
can feel it.
yeah, it's not a secret that anyone, only certain people can do. It's literally
Everyone,
for
everyone
everybody's invited. Everyone.
on our crazy train.
So excited. Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Okay, everybody. On that note, bye.
Goodbye.